Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently, in a slightly awkward position. We were cut off over here by these Ethiopians. They don't know they're Ethiopians, but, even these weird bug guys are Ethiopians. Everyone is Ethiopian. Fantastic. So we are going to go ahead and build a starbase right out here. I did have that queued up, but it actually canceled just after the last episode ended due to lack of alloys. Fair enough. So we'll get that restarted, and in the meantime, we're just going to continue filling in this area over here while we work on getting our fleet back up to strength. 21 corvettes wanted? Hang on. Let's go into this fleet manager and bring that down to 20. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to continue working up this way, of course, and we did lose this fight up here, and it was a lot of alloys that were thrown away, but we don't actually care all that much. Alloys are a very, very replaceable resource in Stellaris. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. So we are going to replenish this and go back up there again. Fossilized remains from several different species that do not appear to have been indigenous to Alpha Centauri Prime have been found in a large and secluded valley on the planet. They all date from roughly the same time period, within the span of a few centuries, some 3.6 million years ago. Each of these species seems to have evolved in its own unique biosphere, and all appear to have been sapient. Strangely, every fossilized individual found so far shows signs of having met a violent end. Okay, so that creates an archaeological site over here. Fantastic. We are now negative on consumer goods. Okay. We'll build an industrial district on Sirius Prime. It'll take some time for that to get a pop for it, especially... That's not great, if I'm honest. It'll take some time, for sure. It'll take some time. Yikes. Yikes indeed. So we're going to continue with that for now. And let's take a look here. We can definitely queue up... Ooh, hang on, Ancient Drones. We'll come back to you in a moment. We can definitely queue up a couple more of our corvettes here. That'll be fine. And we're also going to build our research stations and our mining stations over here. This will get us an additional 2 alloys per month. So that's pretty good. Sorting out the errant innards of the shattered drones took much longer than anticipated, as each drone seems to have been built from a slightly different design, assembled from slightly different parts. Once this fact was established, one thing stood out: the parts that were identical. Separated from the rest, it's clear that these parts are of somewhat modern, if alien make. It's likely that someone has done what we could not, and tampered with the drones. This does warrant further investigation. Well, we're going to build our mining station over here. That'll be fine. We definitely do need more consumer goods, and Alpha Centauri is going to be a not Alpha Centauri, Sirius Prime is going to be a primarily... what's the term I'm looking for? Wow, consumer goods. Consumer goods-focused planet. Fantastic. Can we get away with queuing up another Corvette? Not, I think, immediately. We're going to come over here and build a starbase in Medgar. But that'll be fine. We'll get there soon enough. I'm going to use this science ship to come down to Sirius, and we're going to start doing our excavations, I think. And in fact, we might as well use this one in Alpha Centauri as well. We'll get those done, and we're not going to touch this archaeological site for a while yet. We know what the Rubricator will do, and we're not ready for that. So we are currently up to 16 out of 20 in this fleet. That's fantastic. And we now have the ability to grab ourselves another tradition here. And I'm honestly thinking anything that reduces our upkeep on consumer goods is what we want. This is building and district upkeep, which is measured in energy credits. Starbase influence cost reduction is nice. New colonies starting. Ooh, pop growth speed. That's really, really good. There's no doubt about that. And Empire Sprawl is really solid as well. Running ethics, stability, and in a defensive war. Okay. Trade value is decent. There's not really anything in here to reduce our reliance on consumer goods, is there? I was under the impression there was something in prosperity, but they may have changed that. Okay. Well, pop food consumption being reduced by 10% is nice. Mining station output is nice as well, don't get me wrong. I think we're going to grab expansion for now. Mostly because I want that pop growth speed of 10%. I think that's the most important thing here. Everything else here is good, don't get me wrong. But I think we want that most of all. Okay. I would like to reinforce this fleet more, but I think we're just going to move out at this point. There's only 5 units left here. We're going to take a couple more losses from this, I think, but that should be okay. So on Sirius Prime, of course, we're only going to get housing and jobs. This is not going to get us building slots. I'm interested in finding out how many building slots we get overall from the reassembled ship shelter. And I think the answer is... Is that a change of +2 or an overall of +2? I believe that's a change of +2. That's definitely something to note. A fierce plume of flame sears the heavens of Earth as a comet skirts the upper stratosphere. The sheer power evident in its cosmic trajectory has made a profound impression on the capital's populace. They liken the intractability of its path to the inevitability of the Ethiopian Empire's ascension to galactic supremacy. To victory. Fantastic. So we do have another ship joining us over here, so that's 17 total. This will be enough to take these guys out, but I think that we will take losses. I mean, when we're fighting with corvettes, you're always going to take losses. Especially corvettes this early in the game. So that is definitely something to note. Okay, how close are we over here? We're 20% done with building... Let's see, where are we building? Down here, I think? Yeah. We're getting closer to getting these alloys, but we're not there yet. Having pieced them together, the foreign objects inside the destroyed drones have been identified by our experts as one-way transmitters. Since they're not set to receive, it's safe to assume that the drones were not acting at the behest of some third party. Rather, some entity has been keeping tabs on the drones' activities. It's advisable to look further into this matter, and indeed we will. Fantastic. So we're going to build our research stations up here, of course. We are doing slightly better on our science. Alpha Centauri, of course, is going to be a science world. And to that end, we should probably build a city district here. We do have an available job, but that's fine. Wait, do districts still cost minerals to construct? Yes, okay. Good to know. Okay, so this battle should be markedly different from the last one. We're still going to likely take losses, and that is expected and completely fine.
Battle is joined.
Fantastic. And here comes our 17th Corvette. Wonderful. In fact, we did not take losses. Fantastic. You can go repair, and we are going to immediately have this science ship come out here and survey the system, and this one research the projects in the system. Fantastic. So out we go, and that will be absolutely fine. So we are currently working on this over here. Our survey ship has scanned Sirius 5 and detected some artificial structures worth a closer look. Unnervingly, there are no signs of any population down there. Okay, so that's unnerving indeed. We're also currently working on this one over here, which of course, fossilized remains, yep, that's fine, and we already looked at that one. So we're going to continuing, I guess. That's definitely how words work right there. We're going to continue continuing on that, and it's going to be great. So of course, over here we have this ready to go. What is the strength of that? 1K. That's pretty solid at this point in the game, actually. So that's glorious. We're not interested in declaring war on these future Ethiopians down here just yet, but we'll get there. We are currently experiencing overcrowding here, That's fine. The city district will solve that particular issue. And as soon as this guy is done with that, we're going to send him out over this way for surveys. Fantastic.
Debris analyzed.
Ooh, that's some solid progress right there. Very happy about that. Yes, we're negative in consumer goods. Yes, that is a problem.
Scientific.
We're at -1 amenities on Sirius Prime as well. We'll get to you. And that is potentially an issue. Clerks do produce amenities, so I think we should probably build a city district here. We've found the remaining drones drifting into orbit around the planet. We've learned that they're unwitting pawns in an elaborate scheme set up by an unknown faction. Going by the modus operandi of this operation, this faction is most likely a particularly old and particularly clever pirate syndicate. They must have found the drones drifting through space and done what we could not. Modified them. While not as impressive as it sounds, all they did was introduce self-contained alien technology into the drones, the fact remains that these alien pirates, possess a technological know-how far in advance of our own, at least in certain areas. Having installed their comms devices in the drones, the pirates let them drift through space again, knowing that they are set to assist their original master's colonists, and that the drone's ability to accurately identify such colonists has degraded with age. The drones have essentially been fattening up our colony as the pirates watch, waiting for the ideal time to strike. Our military analysts predict that the pirates will strike within the next 2 years. So we can let them come, we can capture the drones and send them to destroy their masters, or we can dismantle the drones for about 800 engineering research. And I think we're going to say, let them come, because I'm interested in requisitioning this technology that they have, and destroying their ships is a good way to do that. We'll also gain 80 influence, which is pretty nice. This fleet is currently repairing, and we will go ahead and reinforce that fleet up to full strength. Perfect. And our consumer goods is actually getting a little bit better now, too. Our fusion reactors are done. I think we're going to grab research station output at this time. And I think we'll grab biodiversity studies as well. Great. Those are both very important in the early game. Oh, and we have an archaeological site pending. Archaeologists have unearthed more and more fossilized remains in the valley, and the count is now up to 26 distinct sapient species, none of them native to Alpha Centauri Prime. Those fossils that have been sufficiently preserved to determine a cause of death all point towards physical trauma. Inflicted by blades, spears, or arrows, not a single specimen appears to have been felled by the equivalent of modern projectile or energy weapons. The ruins of a small structure of some point have been found near some port? Some sort have been found near the entrance of the valley. It appears to originate from the same time period as the fossils. Perhaps it'll shed some light on things. Well, we found a minor artifact, and we're going to continue our investigations. We will go ahead and grab our mining stations here before we start moving up to Jask-Fomat. Fantastic.
Debris analyzed.
Okay, so that's additional progress on mining drone lasers, ion thrusters, physics, and engineering research. That's fantastic. We're very happy about that. These guys are, of course, being repaired and being replaced. And then we're going to head on over this way, but we'll actually probably leave them where they're at, in all honesty. Okay, so we have a lot more science to perform out over this way. And that is what we're mostly focused on right now.
Complete.
So you're going to head up to Jask-Fomat, and how are we doing on our surveying over here? That's coming along nicely. We probably do want to colonize in Yidixa, so let's go ahead and start working, as soon as we're done with this Corvette, on a Congo-class colony ship. Fantastic. So the Yidixan starbase will be done here in just a few moments.
System survey complete.
Excellent. And we're going to survey over here before heading over this direction.
Construction complete.
We'll grab our mining and research stations out here. I probably should have done that in the opposite order, research then mining, but I guess it'll be fine. Alpha Centauri over here is ready for a building slot, and we do know that this is going to be a science world. So let's build research labs when we can, but that requires a planetary administration, so we'll just leave this building slot open for now. These are fairly expensive tile blockers to clear, and we'll hold off on any of that for now. We'll also go ahead and upgrade our fleets. Fantastic. So that'll be absolutely fine. Although Distal 2 appears totally desolate and devoid of life, our scanners have picked up an encrypted signal emanating from it. Well, we'll take a look at that. Wonderful. Tempers are running high at the Archaeology site on Sirius 5. This is the Archaeology site with, yeah, this Archaeology site, not this one. Okay. And several archaeologists are openly disagreeing with Tao Zhug about how best to proceed. Progress at the site has been slowed to a crawl. -3 clues. Okay. Well, that'll take a while. That is definitely not going well there. Having decrypted the signal, Jeanette Girard was astonished to discover it was broadcasting in an archaic form of one of the main Ethiopian languages. Speaking in these and thous and whenceforths, it appears to be reciting one of the lost works of Xian Pan, a renowned Ethiopian playwright who lived some 600 years ago. It appears that the broadcasting device, a simple satellite dish protected by a small shelter, is the only non-natural structure on the planet. There's no hint as to who left it there, or why, but going by the wear and tear on evidence, it must have been there since shortly after the play was first written, long before the Ethiopians learned the secret of space travel. We can only assume it was left there by ancient visitors to Earth who took a liking to the play and decided to pay our species a strange and unexpected tribute. Well, we can gain some unity, some flat unity, 469 unity, or we can get 10% pop happiness for 60 months and plus 15% unity. So, how much will 15% unity over 60 months net us? Pulling up a calculator here, we're currently making 39 unity per month times 0.15. That's 5.85 unity per month. We'll multiply that by 60 here. Like so. That's 351 total unity. So we will be giving up a little bit of unity if we take the superiority reaffirmed modifier, but I think roughly 100 unity is worth 12 years of 10% pop happiness. So we're going to take that. Fantastic. The construction ship here is going to begin building that starbase. Just found an archaeological site out in Polymar. That's okay, we'll come back to that later. And we did just finish construction over here. We're going to move over to Distal for now. That'll be fine. We are currently working on upgrading our first fleet. That'll happen after we're done with our colony ship, of course. That colony ship is heading out to Yidixa 3A. That's only a 65% habitability, but that's okay. Initial scans of the asteroid D944D1 suggest a dense mass of wrought metal within it, perhaps part of some machinery or other technology. Further scanning is required for more detailed data, and we will definitely do that. We also found this. The excavation of the ancient structure found near the valley's entrance is proceeding according to plan. Many artifacts have been discovered, most of which seem to be variations of hunting weapons and trophies. A partially translated sign, which appears to denote the name of the structure, reads Valley of McVale, Hunting Lodge Primus. Curious indeed. We will proceed. This is now officially set up as being a refinery world, which I find interesting, considering we have no refinery happening there. Let's go ahead and put it into industrial world. There we go. So that's an industrial world. And that's fantastic. It currently has a lack of deficit of our consumer goods, but we're okay on consumer goods for now. That's definitely something to note, though. The construction up here in Jaskvomat has finished up. We're going to construct all of these, and then head over to Polymar and build a starbase out there. We're also going to survey over this direction, like so. Our colony ship, the ISS Opportunity, is going to head out to Yidixa 3A. We will go ahead and colonize that. It claims low habitability, but it's actually only 5% different.
Have been made superior.
So it should be fine in theory. Now we are noticing that that has a weak magnetic field, and that's mostly the issue there. So that'll be fine. As suspected, the asteroid D944D1 holds within it a great mass of metal and does indeed hire some manner of machinery. The gathered data clearly shows that its constituent parts contain great quantities of stored energy, but its purpose remains unknown. We can gently excavate it, or we can dispatch a drill probe to retrieve a sample. We're going to proceed carefully here. Caution proved well in order. Hidden inside D944D1 was a host of old mining drones, programmed to attack on site. Science Officer Jeanette Gerard fortunately detected. The word is detected. Detected this early, and was able to jam the drone's sensors, long enough to disable them. The drone's cores are old indeed, but retain vast amounts of energy for siphoning. Okay, +4 energy credits there. We'll take it. That is completely fine. Now I am noticing that we probably want a trade station here in Procyon. So we'll go ahead and get that upgrading. And that does mean that we are eventually... Let's see, a colony... Hang on. Just thinking here. No, I don't want it in Procyon. We're going to cancel that. I think I want it in Yidixa, but I'm not going to commit to that just yet. We will need patrollers for this route, but that's okay. We can get that later. We're going to grab colonization fever. Fantastic.
Anomaly found.
Another one up here in Distal. Wow. Impressive structures litter Distal 1's surface, practically begging for some archaeological work. And we'll go ahead and research that. Time has come. And the pirate armada arrives on cue. This fight has been a long time coming. Okay, where is that pirate armada? In Sirius? Okay. Well, we're gonna head on over.
Initiating tactical retreat.
Yeah, we're gonna bail out of there with this science chip. That's fine. The ISS Adriatic is just chilling up over here. The internal growth lobby. Okay, that's fine. So what are they gonna do? They're just kind of chilling. Okay. Well, we'll deal with them soon enough. We'll arrive in a few days. Excellent. So down we go. We massively outclass these guys to a kind of hilarious degree. And we'll just wipe them out. I don't think we'll even get losses here. Distal 1 is uninhabited and indeed uninhabitable, but not unvisited. Its surface is littered with tall cenotaphs carved from some mineral not native to the planet, evidently placed here by some artistically inclined spacefaring race. The monolith's flowing lines deftly chart a history so fantastical, it must surely be fictional. We can grab engineering research, or we can make digital reproductions of the monoliths widely available in our empire. And that's what we're going to do. Fantastic. The annotated reproductions of the monolithic imagery found on Distal 1 prove immensely popular in the Ethiopian Empire. Many citizens state that the fantastical annals have completely changed how they feel about aliens. Okay, we're becoming more xenophilic, and that is fantastic. We're very happy about that.
Anomaly found.
Absolutely no issue here. Didn't even take damage. Wonderful. So we're going to go ahead and research that project and then continue work on excavating that site. We also found an anomaly up here. At first glance, this moon does not seem capable of supporting living beings, but nevertheless, we've detected life signs emanating from somewhere beneath this frozen surface. Okay, sounds good. The Ute Empire. Oh boy, our precursors. We've recovered artifacts from an ancient alien civilization on T1 T997. Our scientists think they inhabited this region of stars roughly 6 million years ago, based on the age of the artifacts. The aliens called themselves the Ute, and appear to have been very large and flat arthropod analogs. It seems a single individual could reach a length of nearly 100 meters as an adult, and it was apparently exceedingly rare for more than 2 or 3 Ute to travel aboard the same starship. Interesting. So we found our precursors, and we will continue looking for precursor artifacts. That would be fantastic. We do have an available clerk job here, and once that fills up in a very long time, we should be okay. So that will be fine. We are going to grab Distal as soon as we can.
System survey complete.
Excellent. We can head up here now, and then we will grab our starbase here. Beautiful. We are negative on energy credits right now, and that is something to note. The Alien Reform Network, led by our Empress. That's interesting. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we will continue our expansion out over this direction, planning our trade network. And I guess we gotta do this. Deep scans of Turbic 5A have revealed a large ocean, heated by hydrothermal vents beneath the ice mantle covering the surface. Science Officer Dmitry Zirov dispatched probes from the ISS Lagrange that drilled through several miles of thick ice and found the water below teeming with what appears to be life. We'll need more resources to conduct a thorough study of the many unique life forms inhabiting this ocean. Okay, so we can mount a deep sea expedition, and so we shall. We'll just go ahead and do that now. However, it is time to put that cut in, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, as I said, we are going to work on planning our trade network a little bit, as well as continuing our expansion to the galactic north. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.